The middle class said, what I wrote down is the middle class didn't get lazy. The rules changed. And we're seeing a lot of that effect go on today now more than ever in the States. And we can go into the history of it, right? As far as how we got here. But now more than ever today, the middle class and the lower class, the difference in income compared to years ago is so different than the top earners. Like the discrepancy or the range of difference between income, the top that ones earn compared to the middle class and the lower class, it's worse than it's ever been. It can get a bit scary here of what's going on, where it's going, it truly just boils down. The rich will get richer. That's how we've set up a lot of stuff, especially in the States.
Yeah. And it's more than ever now. Like when there's 2020 was a big one, 2008. Even like during these inflationary times, like there's people making and profiting, and it's just kind of like that the gap is widening, I'd say.
It's widening. Yeah. But it always wasn't like this way. It wasn't.
Right. Like in the 50s, you can afford to, or you can have a family, you can wife, kids, a car, a house, and be a manager at a store somewhere in town.
Yeah.
And then and live comfortably, And then it was the 60s and 70s when women started to work more. So then you had two incomes, right? Family and stuff. And then by the 70s and 80s, both parents needed to work. It wasn't a luxury of like having the option anymore. It was kind of like it was shifting more and more where both had to work. And then things would start to increase. And then, anyways, so now it is definitely more of a struggle, I would say, as far as like back then it seemed like it was a pretty paved path you can just follow down and kind of like, I'm gonna, and if I go to college or school, great, like I can get a better job. But I can graduate high school and know that I can get a job, buy a house, support my family, things will be fine. Can't do that now.
That's how it was. Yeah. When my grandpa was growing up, he grew up he was, in his 20s and the 50s and got his first house and had a family by then. And he could do that.
Right.
Like my grandma really didn't work. He had two kids, bought a house in Houston, and he did it on a very modest salary from a company. He was a working man, that was also in the days where you are loyal to the company and they're loyal to you. That did happen at one time. It's not the case anymore as well, which kind of ties into that, how things have definitely changed from then. And the amount of money you needed to earn back then, the amount of income you needed, it was pretty proportionate to what a house cost, where you didn't need like fucking whatever it is now. I think it's like 10 times or maybe 12 times in some states, 12x what you make to qualify basically for this house kind of thing.
Jeez.
I'll look up the numbers, but it's gotten worse over the years. Back then though, it was real small. Like it's like 3x what you earn or whatever it might be. And you could afford it. You could have a reasonable salary. If you had a wife or a partner, they could stay at home if they wanted to.
Right.
And it was designed around that, I think, to create that American dream, right? Which is what they were trying to do post World War II.
Right.
That helped a lot with the economy. And then getting out of that.
That's we're able to buy houses too.
Yes.
Helped, with the GI Bill.
Yep.
Help them get, be first-time homeowners, which then they can create wealth from or generate wealth.
Right.
Especially back then, if you held on to it. Jeez.
Yeah, and I'm reading some notes here. Like there also was more government programs back then as well that could help out with housing support. There was more around that. Another thing that was a interesting point was like, you're making more than your parents did, which is kind of the American dream if you think about it. That growth potential,
right?
Being able to earn more, because that is kind of the goal. Your parents work hard, they give you everything you need, provide you what you want so that you can live a better life than them in a way. And that upward mobility has definitely declined now, where salaries adjusted for inflation is, if anything, it's the same or it's less than what your parents
Mm,
made back then.
mm.
That's a problem.